What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Clutch Crew Sports YouTube channel, and it is tier list time again, and this time we're going to be looking at breakfast cereals. Now, this isn't going to be a list of every single breakfast cereal ever created, because that would just take way too long. So I think we have 29 or 30 breakfast cereals here. This is all ones that I have tried, because there were other breakfast cereals that I've heard of, that I found images and lists for, but I haven't really tried them, so I don't think I could really give an accurate representation. But before we start, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, follow Clutch Crew Sports on Twitter, and give us a like on Facebook, and be sure to listen to our recent episode that came out on Friday. Now, so we have, like I said, we have about 29 to 30 right here. The classic S, A, B, C, D, and F. And starting off here with Honeycomb, let's see, where do I put Honeycomb? Honeycomb I'd probably put in the, this is like, right from the beginning I'm already like, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had this. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I remember it being decent. Most of these cereals are going to be in the higher ups. I know there's not a whole lot of these that are like bad. But yeah, I'm going to say B tier. I don't know. It's like between B and C. I haven't really, like I said, haven't had it in a long time. I have had it before, but it's all right. It's not too bad. Cocoa Pebbles, that's an, come on. No, not B tier. Cocoa Pebbles is A tier for me. One of the best chocolate cereals out there. I think it's far better than Cocoa Krispies, kind of foreshadowing for the future because I have Cocoa Krispies on here too. Cocoa Pebbles, I don't know. It's just way better to me. I know some people say they don't like it because it kind of gets soggy, but, you know, I think that's part of it. They get a little bit soggier, and then, you know, the milk becomes chocolatey, and because with Cocoa Krispies, I feel like the milk doesn't become chocolatey, but it does with Cocoa Pebbles for sure, and it's definitely A tier for me. Oops All Berry. So I've got all 4 of the Cap'n Crunch varieties on here since I've tasted all of them. Oops All Berries is going to be C tier for me. It's probably going to be the lowest tier out of all of them for me. I don't know. I've just never been a big fan of the berries. I know the berries, most people are going to be the opposite of me. Like, you know, most people that I've asked, when they talk about the Cap'n Crunch berries, it's like their favorite. Maybe not the Oops All Berries, but like, you know, the Cap'n Crunch berries is their favorite. And then they'll put the Oops All Berries kind of like maybe 1 tier below. But I've never been a big fan of the berries. Like, they're okay, but there's just something about them. I don't know. They've never done it for me. Like I said, they're decent. They're not bad, but it's not what I would choose. Honey Bunches of Oats. This is going to go in the B tier for me. I honestly didn't think I would like this cereal when I tried it the first time. I was just like, I think, where was I? I don't know. Maybe I was at one of my grandparents' house or something, or I don't know where I was. I was somewhere, and there was like a list of cereals, and it was like Honey Bunches of Oats, and then my other options were like Raisin Bran and like a couple other cereals I'd never heard of that were kind of like more healthier cereals. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just try Honey Bunches of Oats, like see how it is, and it was actually really good. The little, you know, crunches of honey and oats that are together, those are really good. You know, the regular cereal is just kind of the regular cereal, but no, it's really good. Like I said, I didn't think I would like it, but it's actually really good. Fruity Pebbles, this is probably going to make a fair amount of people upset, but I'm going to put this in the C tier. It's just something I've never been that into, really. I don't know. There's a lot of people that love Fruity Pebbles. You know, most people I'm sure would say they like Fruity Pebbles better than Cocoa Pebbles, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm not like a huge fan of fruity cereals. You know, I'm more of like the chocolate and honey type and peanut butter type, but I don't know. Fruity Pebbles is just kind of average to me. Corn Pops. This is going to go in the B tier. I know for some reason some people say they really don't like this. I don't know. I like it. This is another one that I didn't think I would like. I remember when I first tried it, I was like, oh, it's just gonna be like little balls of corn, like, you know, it's just gonna be so bland and plain. But actually, Corn Pops, they have an interesting flavor to them. Like, they have more of a flavor to them than I thought they would. So it definitely was a surprise to me. Like I said, kind of like Honey Bunches of Oats. I liked it a lot better than I thought I would. So, I mean, I just bought a box of them a couple weeks ago, so Corn Pops are definitely a B tier for me. Honey Nut Cheerios, this is obviously an A tier cereal. You know, you took Cheerios, a very bland, very, supposed to be healthy cereal, and you make it 10 times better by making Honey Nut Cheerios. This is probably when I work at a grocery store, doing online orders for people, and this is probably the one cereal that I like see the most on all of my orders, like across the spectrum, like younger people, older people, like this cereal is the one that comes up most often that I have to get for people. So I think it's safe to say that it's my clientele's favorite cereal. I wouldn't say Honey Nut Cheerios would be America's favorite cereal. There's another cereal on this list that I would say is probably the most popular across America, but Honey Nut Cheerios is definitely a very popular, very good cereal. Corn Flakes. This is going to be a D tier for me. Very bland, it's just cornflakes, right? It's supposed to be healthy. It's supposed to be, or healthier. It's supposed to just be kind of like your standard cereal. It was the first cereal ever made. It's classic. It's been around forever, but again, it's just so bland. I know some people for some reason enjoy eating bland food. I don't know why that is. I know some people, they don't even put like a lot of, seasoning on their food when they eat it. I don't know. Maybe that's the people that eat cornflakes, because I don't know how you could like bland food like this. Apparently, I've been told that one way to make cornflakes better is you can put sugar in them, and that kind of makes them like Frosted Flakes, but, I don't know how much that would do to make it even better. I feel like that would just make your milk taste sugary. I don't know. But it's definitely D tier for me. Like, it's not the absolute worst. I wouldn't quite put it in the F tier, but it's not good. Fruit Loops. Now, this is a cereal that when I was growing up, I liked it a lot better, but now I'm actually going to put it in the C tier. It's again, it's okay. Like I said, maybe I'm just not a fan of fruity cereals, but it's just kind of average to me. Like it's Fruit Loops, like, it's been the same for a long time. It's got that fruity taste to it. But I always thought it was interesting, Trix is the same way when you get later down the list, but like the different colors, I almost wish the different colors had different flavors to them, but they all taste the same. Like, they don't taste any different. So maybe if they tasted different, I'd like it. It'd be like eating a bowl of Skittles in a way. I'm not sure how good that would be with milk, but maybe it would be even worse. But Fruit Loops, I think for me, is just a C tier. Kix. Now, this is a cereal, out of all the cereals on this list, this is probably the one that I've gone the longest time in between eating. I definitely have had this before when I was a kid, but as told by their slogan, like kid approved. It's something like what kids like it and like mom approved or something, or it's like kids approved or something. I don't know, but we're gonna put it in the C tier just because I remember liking it, but I don't remember it being like super fantastic. I'd have to try it again, but I'm sure some people might put it up here, but I'm going to put it in the C tier just because it's been too long. Rice Krispies. This is going to go in the D tier for me. Now, I'll give it a little bit of love and put it in the C tier just because, of what you can do with Rice Krispies making Rice Krispie treats. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that you can make Rice Krispie treats, this would be a D tier cereal because honestly, I'm not a big fan of it. I feel like it's very similar to Corn Flakes. It's just really bland. Obviously, one of the appeals with Rice Krispies is you get, the milk going like, making that funny noise. But as a cereal as a whole, it's just kind of bland. But like I said, you can use it to make Rice Krispie treats, and those are awesome. So it's going to go in the C tier, saving itself from the D tier. Frosted Flakes. This is easy S tier. I don't know, there's not much else to say about Frosted Flakes. The slogan back in the day was perfect, that they're great. They are great. Frosted Flakes, I just had a bowl of them this morning. You can't go wrong with them. Like I said, I don't know how much putting sugar in Corn Flakes would make them like Frosted Flakes, but there's no way to compare. And you have to get the actual Frosted Flakes, because I remember they came out with like Lucky Charms, like the Lucky Charms marshmallows with Frosted Flakes. Like, instead of the regular Lucky Charms cereal, it was Frosted Flakes. But the problem with that is that Frosted Flakes is made by Kellogg's and Lucky Charms is made by General Mills. So, like, to get the authentic Lucky Charms marshmallows, General Mills made it. but the Frosted Flakes they were using were not like real Frosted Flakes. They were just kind of knockoff Frosted Flakes, so it wasn't very good. You just can't compare it to the original. Frosted Flakes are amazing. Easy S tier. Cheerios, D tier. They're supposed to be heart healthy. They're supposed to help lower your cholesterol, as given by the box. It's in a heart-shaped bowl. Bland. Similar to Corn Flakes, that's all I have to say. It's bland. Not much else to say. Lucky Charms, this is A tier for me. They're magically delicious. They're not quite S tier, but Lucky Charms are, the marshmallows. It's the marshmallows that really make it. If you just had the cereal, then, it'd probably be like a C tier, but, the marshmallows, they really elevate it and make it so much better. I know there's a lot of people who, they just want the marshmallows. I don't know if I would just want the marshmallows. I feel like that would be a little weird. It'd be a little too sweet. I also feel like they would kind of disintegrate in the bowl because they are marshmallows. But, I think the marshmallows paired with the cereal is what makes it really good. Like I said, some people would probably disagree because they want to get rid of the cereal and the Lucky Charms, but the marshmallows and the cereal combined make it really good. So that makes it A tier for me. Cap'n Crunch Berries. Now, I already touched upon Oops All Berries. The Cap'n Crunch Berries is a B tier for me. Just because it's, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the berries, but it throws in the regular Cap'n Crunch cereal in there. So it's going to be B tier for me. It makes it a little bit better for me. The regular Cap'n Crunch is good. Like I said, the berries, I feel like they're okay when you mix them with the regular Cap'n Crunch. I feel like they're not as good when they're just on their own. It's kind of like the Lucky Charms with like just the marshmallows. I feel like just the marshmallows might be like a B or a C, but with the cereal combined with it, it makes it an A tier. And this is kind of like the Cap'n Crunch berries. Like the berries on their own is a C tier, but if you take the berries and you put them together with the cereal, it makes it a B tier. Sorry, my nose was like acting up there. But yeah, you put them together with the cereal, it's a B tier. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Now, I mentioned that one of the cereals on this list would be America's favorite cereal. This, no doubt in my mind, is the most popular cereal across America, and it is an easy S tier. There is nothing like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I mean, all of these other cereals, I feel like in some ways there's something that's like somewhat similar to them. There is nothing similar to Cap'n Crunch. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is its own thing. It's, whoever came up with this was a genius. Cinnamon sugar is one of the best things, and especially when you get it in the milk, like the milk is some of the best milk once you're done eating the cereal. You get that cinnamon sugar milk. It's fantastic. It's actually not my personal favorite, but it's definitely like really these two. Like Frosted Flakes is not my personal favorite either, like 100%. But my S tier cereals can really go in any order. Like I'd be happy to get a bowl of any of them. There's not one where I'm like, oh, I have to go out and get that one. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch is an easy S tier. Anyone who doesn't like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I don't know what's wrong with you, who hurts you, but not liking Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a crime. And like I said, you must like these bland cereals like Corn Flakes and Cheerios, because Cinnamon Toast Crunch is one of the best. Trix. Now, with Trix, I am so happy that they finally went back to the original design of the cereal, because I remember when I was a kid, they had, they have the fruit shapes, and then I can't remember when it was. It must have been sometime when I was like 9 or 10 and like late elementary school, and they went and changed it to just like generic looking puffs, like fruit puffs, and I was like, what? Like, why? It was so much better when it was the fruit shapes. Like, I know obviously they all taste the same, but still, it just gave it that better appeal when they were all the fruit shapes. And for the longest time, they just had the puffs. And so I will say, if it was still in pop form, it'd be a C tier, but since they went back to the original design, it's a B tier. Trix has always been one of my favorite fruit cereals. I don't know, it just has a different taste. I remember when I was a kid and they had the Trix yogurt too. For everyone who doesn't have that now, I feel so bad for you, because Trix yogurt was fantastic. There was nothing else like it. It was great. But Trix cereal, also very good. Cookie Crisp. There's a lot of people that don't like this. I don't know. I don't know if they think it's weird or if they don't think it's like got a great chocolate chip cookie taste. But I'm putting it in the A tier. I love Cookie Crisp. Cookie Crisp, it tastes. Yeah, sure, it doesn't taste exactly like a chocolate chip cookie, but it's got that chocolate chip cookie taste. And what's better than chocolate chip cookie and milk? I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So I'm putting Cookie Crisp in the A tier. It definitely has gone through some changes since I was a kid. It doesn't taste quite the same. I remember growing up, like, this was my sister's favorite cereal. Like, this was her go-to. Like, I always had, when I was a kid, you know, I, in the beginning, we used to eat the same cereals. Like, as we got older, we switched and, we switched our cereals all the time, or at least I did. But, like, when we were younger, it was like, I always had Cocoa Puffs and my sister always had Cookie Crisp. And I gotta say, I liked Cocoa Puffs better when I was a kid, but now that as an adult, I like Cookie Crisp better. It's great. Regular Captain Crunch. This is going to be another B tier cereal. It's just the regular cereal. I like it. It's, a little bit sugary, not too overpowering. Like I said, that and the Captain Crunch berries, like, I could either go with either one of them. I don't think the berries really elevate it. I think it just gives it a different flavor. But the Captain Crunch regular cereal is good too. There's nothing to complain about it. Cocoa Puffs, like I said, the cereal that I mentioned that I used to eat all the time when I was a kid, for the most part, and my sister used to eat Cookie Crisp, and then I started experimenting with different cereals, and here we are now that I've tried 30 different cereals. But Cocoa Puffs, to me, it's a B tier for me now. I don't know. There's just something about Puff cereal that I just don't like as much as I get older. Like, I think when you're a kid, like, those Puffs are really good. There is one exception to that rule for me on this list, but like, the Puff cereal is just it's not fantastic to me anymore. And I feel like the Cocoa Puffs, I feel like it's too overpowering with the chocolate. Like, the chocolate milk at the end is great, but I feel like it's just a little too overpowering. I don't get overpowered when I eat Cocoa Pebbles, but Cocoa Puffs I feel like is a little too overpowering, and I just don't like them as much as I used to. But that being said, they are still very good and a solid B tier. Captain Crunch Peanut Butter. The Captain Crunch that is absolutely despised by my girlfriend. It is despised by a lot of people that I know. They think it's like a disgrace to the Captain Crunch name. But to all the haters out there and all the people who don't like Peanut Butter Crunch, this is an A tier cereal. I don't know why people don't like it. It's balls of peanut butter. Like, you can't go wrong with peanut butter. Peanut butter cereal is fantastic, and anyone who doesn't like Peanut Butter Crunch can come fight me. Like, it is a fantastic A tier cereal. I would choose this over any of the Captain Crunch. Like, Captain Crunch Berry is probably the most popular Captain Crunch. I'd eat Peanut Butter Crunch over it any day. There is no comparison. Peanut Butter Crunch is A tier cereal. Crispix cereal. This is another D cereal. Another bland cereal. I will say, out of these three, in terms of the overall taste, I think I like the taste of Crispix better. But the problem for Crispix is that it gets soggy so fast. Like, it gets soggy after like 30 seconds to a minute of being in the milk. Maybe even shorter than that. Like, it just turns into soggy mush from the start. I mean, like I said, if it could stay unsoggy, then it might be C tier, because it's probably the best tasting out of some of these bland cereals, but it's like I said, it just turns to mush in seconds. So, you're just eating this gloopy cereal, and it's like, it just doesn't feel right. I feel like I'd almost rather eat a bowl of this, like, without milk than I would with milk, even though milk kind of makes the cereal. But this, I feel like, is like the one cereal on this list that is probably better without milk. I mean, technically maybe Rice Krispies, because they're better with marshmallows and in Rice Krispie treat form, but Crispix and the traditional eating in the bowl, this is probably the best cereal without, like, milk. Like, this is the only one I would want to eat without milk, because it's, like I said, it just gets soggy so fast. Reese's Puffs. Remember seeing all the crazy commercials and all the whatnot for this cereal when I was a kid. This cereal, I mean, if you like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, if you like Reese's anything, then you're going to like this cereal. It's peanut butter and chocolate. This is another S tier cereal. I love Reese's Puffs. It is my personal favorite cereal. I don't know, there's something different about it. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Puff cereal, but like Reese's Puffs definitely breaks that for me. It's great. It's good. It's great. It's good. It's great. Like I said, peanut butter chocolate. It's it doesn't taste exactly like a Reese's peanut butter cup, but I mean Reese's knows what they're doing when it comes to peanut butter and chocolate. I mean, there's a reason why people love their products so much, and also with the milk just makes it that much better. So Reese's Puffs is an S tier cereal. Crave. Now I remember this is actually out of all the cereals on this list, this is one that I didn't eat growing up because it's actually a fairly new cereal. I think it only came out when I was in like high school. I'm 23 now. I think this came out when I was probably like 15 or 16, and I remember seeing commercials for it, and I was like, it's an interesting looking cereal. This is probably a B tier for me. I thought it was going to be better, but I don't know. The chocolate just kind of tastes a little weird. Like, it's not bad. It just tastes a bit weird in the cereal. It's not like your traditional chocolate, like with Cocoa Pebbles or Cocoa Puffs, or even like the chocolate Reese's Puffs, because obviously there's the peanut butter puffs too. But like the chocolate Reese's Puffs, I don't know. It just has this interesting, weird flavor to it. Like I said, it's not a bad flavor, but it's something that I'm just like, it's not that great. So, Crave is a B tier. Cocoa Krispies. This single-handedly was one of the cereals that like made me start to doubt or like start to dislike chocolate cereal. It's gonna be a C tier. I don't know. Rice Krispies and Cocoa Krispies, like there's just something wrong with it. I don't know. And the thing about Rice Krispies or Cocoa Krispies too is that like they're impossible to get on your spoon half the time. Like you're trying to get through the bowl and you're like, I can't get these on my spoon when you get down towards the end. I don't know why. They're just hard to eat. And they're just not as good as any of the other chocolate cereal. They don't make them milk chocolatey like Cocoa Pebbles and Cocoa Puffs do. Like they might do it a little bit, but not nearly to the extent that Cocoa Pebbles and Cocoa Puffs do. So, C tier for me. Frosted Mini Wheats. This is probably a B tier cereal, just because for me, this is another cereal. I said Crispix. Mini Wheats is another cereal that I actually really like without milk. Because with milk, again, kind of like Crispix, they get kind of soggy kind of quickly. So I think with milk, if we were just looking at cereal with milk, it'd be a C tier. But I think Frosted Mini Wheats are really good without milk. So I'd put this as a B tier. Like I said, I like to eat them without milk. They have a better taste. They stay crunchy and wheaty. And there's just something about them that's better without milk. Because like I said, you put them in the milk and they get soggy. And they kind of lose their... Like, I actually kind of like the taste of the wheat. Most people want to eat it for the frosted part of it, which is obviously good. But I kind of like the wheat part of it, too. And I feel like the wheat part of it gets kind of lost when you put it in milk. And it just kind of... you just taste the frost. So... B tier cereal for Frosted Mini Wheats. Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran. The one and only F tier cereal on this list. I want to gag every time I see Raisin Bran. It is the absolute... I mean, I was forced to eat it sometimes as a kid too, and it was... it's disgusting. I don't... Words cannot comprehend how terrible this cereal is. It doesn't matter if Raisin Bran Crunch or regular Raisin Bran, it's all terrible. It's F tier. I don't even want to think about it. It's F tier. Moving on. Golden Grams. This is another cereal I ate when I was growing up. This is probably a C tier cereal. I don't know. I kind of feel like they used to be better than they are now. They're just kind of like, average, middle of the road. Like, they're not bad, but I don't know. They're just kind of, like I said, average and middle of the road, and they're not as good as when I was a kid. Because I think I remember them saying something that they changed the recipe. Maybe that's why they're not as good as when I was a kid, because they changed the recipe up on them. So, I don't know. Like, they maybe would have been B tier when I was younger, but now they're C tier. And finally, the last cereal on this list, Apple Jacks. This is an A tier for me. Apple Jacks, there's just something different about them. Like, I remember, like, them and Fruit Loops, thinking when I was a kid, I'm like, this is, like, they're both, like, the ring cereal and, a little bit of a fruity taste, but Apple Jacks is definitely way better than Fruit Loops. Apple Jacks, they have that cinnamony flavor to them. I remember all the commercials when I was a kid with, like, the apple and the, here I come, I am cinnamon, which one of them would get to the cereal first, because all the people are like, they taste like apples. And it's like, no, it's like, they taste like cinnamon, not apples. If they have an apple taste, it's very, very subdued. but it's the cinnamon, the classic green, and like reddish, orangish, pinkish, like other cereal. I don't know. It's a classic. It's really good. Apple Jacks A tier. So that's going to wrap it up. Make sure you guys let me know what you think about this list, where you would rank these cereals. For a quick recap, we have S tier, Frosted Flakes, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Reese's Puffs. A tier, Cocoa Pebbles, Honey Nut Cheerios, Lucky Charms, Cookie Crisp, Peanut Butter Captain Crunch, and Apple Jacks. Honeycomb, Honey Bunches of Oats, Corn Pops, Captain Crunch Berries, Trix, regular Captain Crunch, Cocoa Puffs, Crave, and Frosted Mini Wheats in the B tier. Oops All Berries, Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops, Kix, Rice Krispies, Cocoa Krispies, and Golden Grams in the C tier. Corn Flakes, Cheerios, and Crispix in the D tier. And the absolutely disgusting Raisin Bran in the F tier. Disgusting. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a suggestion on Twitter or in the comments what you want to see next. I've been enjoying doing these non-sports tiers. I know this is a sports YouTube channel, but I feel like there's always room for other content in them as well. Probably going to come back with another sports-related one here next time, but who knows? We'll see whatever I decide. But take care, guys, and as always, be clutch.